question for you. So when's the last time you saw an indie game get so popular that you cannot get away from it? I'm sure it has happened multiple times with games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Baldi's Basics, Undertale, Hollow Knight, or the one that shall not be named. I'll leave that to your imagination. This is something that has become more apparent in the recent years. There could be multiple reasons as to why we have seen a rise in popularity in the indie space, from games being cheaper, to having more effort put into them, to just being a better and more fun experience overall. I'm not saying AAA titles are bad by any means, but as time goes on, people are starting to lose faith in them. 8 times out of 10, the games end up being unfinished, buggy, or just didn't commit to what they promised. I know it's easy to bully these games, but Cyberpunk 2077 is a good example of a game that promised way too much, but didn't deliver.
Is this game worth it? Does that answer your question?
Fallout 76 are launching at unfinished state, and a bunch of other examples that if I mention all of them, this video is gonna turn out way too long. Or more subtle approaches like paying $60 every year for the same sports title, or for the same game that releases yearly, that just ends up being either the same, worse, or just disappointing. Here, I'll give you $60 to get a game from a big developer, and I'll get the same budget, but for smaller ones. Alright, so let's say you picked up the new Far Cry game. I'm sure it's a decent game, but after you finish the campaign and the side missions, there's not much you can do after that. Or with games like Call of Duty that released every year, if you stay on one game, it gets harder and harder to even find a match on the older titles. Now with $60, you can pick up Terraria, a really good action survival game, Celeste, a challenging platformer, A Hat in Time, a really good platform that can even rival Nintendo's own mascot, and Hollow Knight, one of the best games and best Metroidvanias you can play. And that's base price, by the way. Since these games constantly can be found on sale, you can get them for even cheaper than what I just told you. Especially in the times we are at the moment, it's not like everyone can drop $60 on every big new game that releases. Oh, nigga! Or 70 for PlayStation titles, cause you know, it's a small company, they need the money. So indie games are there to help you with that. Now it's not just the price, cause some of these games rival or are even better than AAA titles with a way bigger budget and more manpower behind it. Take Celeste for example, this game was nominated for the 2018 Game of the Year award, and Hades received a nomination for the 2020 awards. Now I know the Game Awards are kind of a joke now, after they have given the award to games that don't exactly deserve it. But still, for small developers, just being up there competing with games with $1 million budgets, it really is an accomplishment. Now there's the games that went mainstream and gained popularity way too quickly that ended up affecting them. Now I'm not gonna talk about these games for too long, because I wanna make a separate video about them, so if you wanna see that, the subscribe button is right there. But anyways, games like Five Nights at Freddy's started off pretty small, and now it became one of the most popular franchises ever. Or look at Minecraft, that started as a one-man project and later it was bought for $2.5 billion by Microsoft. For one person to be able to accomplish that, that is quite impressive if I do say so myself. And another thing that indie games have going for them is that more often than not, they are passion projects. You can tell that developers have put their heart and soul into making the game as amazing as it can be. They are working on this project because they chose to, not because a company is telling them to, or they don't have quotas that they have to fulfill every month. And thanks to that, we get amazing experiences that we wouldn't otherwise get if it wasn't for them. In conclusion, I didn't make this video to bash on AAA titles, hell, I love a lot of them. I just wanted to make this video to incentivize more people into supporting small developers. They really deserve it for all the work and effort they put into something they love. So if you're ever looking for a game to play, just go to the indie section on Steam, or PlayStation, the Xbox store, or hell, even in your phone you can find pretty good games. Trust me, you will not be disappointed.
Oh my fuck. What the fuck? What?